something new. If you are stressed out from a long week, come and paint with me. This is something that I've been doing to help relax. And if you saw my last video, I talked about how stress can be a really big trigger for seizures or if you have chronic health conditions. So I wanted to do something with you guys live and probably take about 15 minutes and see how you're doing this week. So, this is a watercolor book that I got from Amazon. Let me know if you can hear me well. And I also got this watercolor brush, which is what's so cool about it is all I have to do is unscrew it and I put some water in there and I picked something nice and easy to do for this unique live. This book I got from Amazon, like I told you, it's a quote unquote magical paper painting because it already has the colors on the page. And what you do is you wet it with water, you just add water, and you're able to see the beautiful picture come alive. So I love what it says here in this page. It says that love is an art. It truly is. And so this is one that I did already. And it says beauty and strength come from within. And I totally agree with that, especially if you're on a gray hair journey. Sometimes, not sometimes, you can't rely on what you get outside of you. You get that strength and that beauty knowing that it's coming from the inside out, not the outside in. So the, let's get back here. All right. So the one that I'm going to do for today is this one. As I wake each morning, I celebrate the love in my life. So I'm going to show you guys how this works. Please let me know in the comments if you cannot hear me. Hi, Jacqueline. Good to see you. All right, I'm a lefty. Let me know if there are any of you who are lefties. And also if you paint or do things like this. Something I realized, let me just tell you real quick how you use this. You just squeeze and it gets the water going. And then you just nicely, all I'm doing is just using the water. And like I said, it already has the colors on the page. I noticed though with these, I try my best to stay within the lines still because I don't want the colors to bleed. But it's really cool because with this, I'm really allowing surrender because I don't know what colors that they put. So I get a chance to see it unfold right in front of me. And I'm sure you guys would agree that that's similar to what the gray hair journey is like, right? We don't know what to expect. We don't know what our gray hair pattern is going to be like, but we let the process go as it does, and then you'll be surprised at what comes of it. I know I definitely was surprised. But we never know until we try, right? So I wanted to do something different. Ooh, put a little too much water on that one. Get a tissue. And I have done acrylic painting before, and I'm finding that I enjoy watercolor better because I feel like it's more forgiving. If you go too dark, you can always add more water and it'll be lighter. And there's just something about it that it just like it flows, and we need that. So I have been trying to add more things in my life that help me to feel relaxed and also give me time because something else, I am a mom of a 7-year-old and I decided to homeschool him, and that has been challenging. It's rewarding, just like motherhood, But it is challenging. And so I find that I use a lot of my mental and emotional capacity with him during the day, and doing things like this can be really relaxing. So I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm open to doing different things. Hi, Joy. Oh, a fellow lefty. Let me tell you guys what happened to me when I went to the library last week. So I went to the library and I was looking for a book, and they helped me to, they directed me to the, I guess, the head librarian who would help me to find the book, right? So I look over and I see her gray hair, and I'm like, oh, I love your gray hair. She looked like she was transitioning. It wasn't fully gray, she had like some brown tips. But, I'm like, I love your hair. And she's like, I love yours. And then we found out that we both were lefties. And it's just another nice thing that I found through this journey is how nice it is to lift one another up. We deal with so many things throughout the day and the week that can be, can bring you down. So how nice is it, even if it's someone you don't know, say like, "Oh, you look so pretty. Love your hair." And you just see their smile shine. And I have found with the gray hair journey, when I first decided I wanted to go gray, I was so nervous worrying about what people would think. And this is not to say that I haven't had some interesting experiences or some that were not favorable, but overall, most of my experience with the gray hair journey, it was more positive than it was negative. So let me tell you about a not so ideal experience I had, just to let you know that you're not alone. So I'm walking with my son outside, and we are walking down the street, and I see this thank you, Joy. And I see this woman coming, like we're both crossing the street, so she's coming toward us and she's smiling a big smile. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, hi, are you having a great time with your grandson? And I was like, excuse me, I was like, the audacity of her just saying that to me when she didn't even like know. And then I just laughed. I was like, no, I'm having a good time with my son. And we just kept it moving. She looked like, when they say people put a foot in their mouth. I was like, all right, she realized that she did that, so I just let it go. But I just thought it's funny. It's not the first time that that's happened to me. We usually think that you have to be, you know, elderly or up in age in order to have gray hair. And I definitely feel with the gray hair movement, we're showing that, first of all, like my last reel I had said, public service announcement, people gray younger than you think. It doesn't just happen when you get older. So, and a lot of people probably know that, but they just dye their hair, which is nothing wrong with that. But it was just interesting when she said that. It kind of felt like, oh man. And mind you, she looked like a grandma, in my opinion, which I also feel is an unpopular opinion, that you can look old without gray hair. Look old, quote unquote. And so, there's so many things that go into it. And for me, it's just been so freeing to just allow my hair to do what it's going to do. Does that mean that I don't miss hair color or miss my hair being darker? I have my moments, I do. But I also am glad that I've been able to embrace where I'm at. And again, my gray hair journey has also helped me to then embrace other areas. Just the things that I've gained through the experience of letting my gray hair grow in, I have been able to use that in other areas of my life. You learn acceptance, you learn vulnerability, you learn that you can survive comments like that. But then I had a beautiful experience when my son was going to school. I remember I picked him up, and a little boy said, "Are you his grandma?" Okay, let's see what Yvonne said. Can you put the bleaching product and the relaxer, do your hair, mix it together. Um, I am not a hair professional, so I would not, give you advice in that way. I do hear you saying bleach and relaxer, and from what I know, with the relaxing process, there is is it a toner or a, there's something that you need to put in your hair to be able to help with that process when you relax it. There's someone on YouTube, I'm going to see if I can find their page, who has relaxed gray hair, and she does her own hair. So I'll see if I could find that for you so that you could get some tips on that. But I can't speak to, I just saw bleach and I was like, ooh, not sure. If you want to clarify more in your comment, feel free to do so. But I have had other clients or people who have um, taken my consulting services, and they went and put color in their hair, and it didn't, like, they tried to bleach it so that they didn't have to deal with the transition process, and it didn't come out the way they expected, and they found their hair to be a little bit damaged. That's not to say that'll happen to everyone, but bleach can be very drying to the hair, but you do what works for you. That's definitely something else I learned from the gray hair journey. How I went cold turkey, um, and it worked out for me. There was definitely awkward phases, so don't think it was all rainbows and butterflies. Um, but going back to what I was saying, with the little boy who had said, was I my son's grandmother? With him, I gave him benefit of the doubt. I'm like, you're young. It makes sense. We automatically assume when we see that color of hair that they must be a grandparent. What's so funny is my son has been into Snapchat filters, and one of the filters is a grandpa or like an older person, and he loves putting on that filter. And he told me to put it on, and I was like, not only was my hair gray, but it was making my face look a lot older, so I was not a fan of it. But he's like, you look so cute, you look young. And I was like, well, you know what, I'm teaching him something. Oh, she went gray very young. Yep. Thank you for sharing that, Joy. So we're not alone. If you get comments like that, no, you're not alone. And it's okay. It's okay. Everyone's gonna have their, I've also heard of different people not wanting to, look older than their spouse. All those feelings are valid, but I can't say enough the freedom I feel not having to worry about my roots, because the way my hair was growing in, my sister is 10 and a half years younger than me, but she's starting to get her gray streaks, which are so cute. But I think if my hair came in that way, I might have been more open to, um, more open to what? What am I trying to say? I think I'm trying to say my hair, maybe like waiting it out is what I was trying to say. But because mine was on my hairline, I was like, no, I'm putting in a rinse, I'm putting in permanent color, and a week or two later, you're back again. So I feel free from that race of trying to get ahead of my roots. So you see, we're almost at the 15-minute mark, and I'm almost done with this painting. And it's just so nice. I'm like, I underestimate how much time it would take just to do something to clear my mind. I'm also, this is not completely screen free because I'm on live with you guys here, but that's something else I'm trying to do to help, feel less overwhelmed, feel less stressed. My son has been encouraging me when we go on our walks. Today we went on a walk even though it was raining. And walking is just really good, not just for our health physically, but mentally. And there's also something relaxing about the rain, I feel. Look, it's coming together. Almost done. So I thought this was a nice little investment. Now, I also have watercolors. I'm going to show you guys after this something I did earlier today. But I figured this would be nice and easy for a live. You don't have to sit through like an hour of me painting. It is, right, Joy? Walking is awesome. And you know what I realized? After I walk, I feel amazing. It's just getting outside. It's just getting the shoes on and getting out. But I, really try, and I have to be a lot more intentional now that my son, I'm homeschooling him, because before I would just pick him up and he would get his outside time, but now we have to be more intentional and make sure he gets out. And it's nice. We have our little time together. He definitely got into the puddles. And it's amazing how many lessons you can learn from basic things. Like, I realized that, he's a kid. At first, I'm like, boy, if you don't stop splashing me with this muddy water. But he was having a good time. And I said, you know what? That's what it's all about. So he had on his rubber boots and, all the water resistant stuff. So I'm like, go have at it. Enjoy yourself. So here we are. As I wake each morning, I celebrate the love in my life. And this is something that I try and do. If you don't follow me on Instagram and my stories, I try and every day remind myself. And you guys have seen too. I'll show you real quick. I have a reminder here to look for evidence of love around you. And there is some if we look hard enough. So this was pretty good. I showed you guys the brush, this brush pen beforehand. I didn't use that much water for this painting. And I like it. Let me know in the comments what you think. It's very interesting colors. And again, this is surrender, because I may think to myself, these aren't colors that I would have used. But nonetheless, it's cute. I love all the little hearts. And I have another book. And what's nice also with this, because you see how I got a little bit wet, you have this here to be able to help protect your other paintings. So I'm going to let this dry. And I'm going to show you, this is also a little silicone mat that I got from YouTube, from Amazon, so I could protect my desk. But look at what I did earlier. This is something, let me show you my beginning paintings. This is one that I did a couple of last week. And, just trying to, again, allow the surrender and not worry about it being something that could go into a museum. Thank you, Joy. Like, this one was really abstract. I don't know if you guys know Morgan Harper Nichols. I love her art, and I love just, how she does her art. So I just did this just to work with colors and see what came out. This was another one that I did. I was practicing with some trees. I was like, look at me doing some trees. And but what I liked about this one, of course, this looks nice and clean. I got some, I think this is washi tape. I got like a whole set from Amazon. Listen, Amazon, they're constantly at my door. So this was one tape that I got, and I took it and I put it on these different lines here so that I could give myself a little bit of structure. And then I just painted, and I just love how it came out. Now, of course, the paper, this is a watercolor pad. So it's a thick paper to be able to allow you to use the watercolors, but I just love it. It came out nice, and I might try and do some doodling on here. But I think also what's nice about painting and doing art is, unleashing your creativity. And my son, I'm thankful also for homeschooling. Okay, I'll let you guys see my face a little bit more. Come on now. There we go. What I like about homeschooling is that that's my floor, by the way. What I like about homeschooling is by doing that with him, I'm able to tap into that little kid side of me that likes to do different things. Like we were doing Play Doh, modeling clay, and things like that, doing crafts. When you think about going to certain rehab places, or even, as some get older and they go to different places to be able to help them, they have them engage in crafts and things like that because it does help the mind. It helps you to relax. This is another one I got that I'll do on another live with you guys. It's called the Unworry Magic Painting Book. Hope you could still hear me. I'm a little farther away, but has like different doodles. And what I like about this page, it talked about being mindful. And so we live in a time where it's so easy to be distracted by so many things. We have so many things demanding our attention and so many things coming at us. So being able to take time where you're just focusing on one thing can be so calming to your mind. I'm pretty sure a lot of you go through a lot of demands during the week. And those of you watching the replay, please put a clap emoji in the comments. You made it to Friday. You're here. And that's something to celebrate. And try and think of some wins that you had during the week, because it can be very easy at the end of the week to just think of all the things you didn't get a chance to do. But try and think of the things you did do. And if that doesn't amount to much, then like I said, just the fact that you showed up this week and you're still here says a lot. So I hope that this live was relaxing to you. And let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more like this, or if you enjoyed it, because I will be doing more of this. I'm realizing that in the season that I'm in, not that I'm not going to do hair content, but I'm going to be focusing on the two things that are in my season right now, which is stress relief, stress reduction. And I'm definitely all about positive words of affirmation, because words are powerful. And so that's another thing I liked about this book is, there's something positive to say. And sometimes, again, because of all the things that we can be inundated with that can be negative, it's really nice to have positive things, positive reminders around you. So I encourage you to have a compassionate weekend. I appreciate your support as always. Thank you for those who joined, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.